No,
I got bigger fish to fry here.
Life is different now.
I've
gone from paper to electronic. I don't need to worry about the company.
Do you love the movies? Did you love the search for the perfect rental on a Friday night? Finally settling on something you would someday regret until you do a podcast about movies? That's my life. Welcome to Mike and Anthony's Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host, Antoine.
I had some delicious Triscuits in the car.
Bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, during which we'll play the game and open up a six-pack of favorite scenes. We also point out a couple of generic scenes as well. At the end of the show, we will rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is a scrupulous penguin sleeping with your girlfriend.
Yes.
24 cans is sharing milk with Ms. Vaughn. But before we get to all that, we want to let you...
As soon as you said scrupulous penguin, I'm thinking that's 24 cans. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's with your girlfriend. But milk with Miss Vaughn is 24 cans. Just want to let you know that. And also, we want to let you know this, that we have a website. It's a wonderful place, sodapopculture.com. That we have a website. That we have a website. It's a wonderful place, sodapopcultureclub.com, where you can make your own movie suggestions. So if you want to guarantee we do your movie, all you have to do is make a donation of $25 using our Venmo or PayPal. The name is @SodaPopCultureClub. Don't forget to make sure you say what it is for when you make your donation. We also strongly encourage you to email us, letting us know why you want us to do the movie you requested. You can email us at mikeandanthony@sodapopcultureclub.com. And that's only if you don't use the portal. If you use the portal, it has everything you need. That's what we're trying to say here. And if you want to support us, if you want to make us happy and help us so we can keep bringing this wonderful content to you, it's pretty easy. The best way to do it is get a movie, pay us for that, or buy merchandise. It's on our website.
Yay!
Hit the merch link. All the wildest dreams will come true. T-shirts, hoodies, fanny packs. Go crazy. Make it happen. Make your dreams come true in a hoodie.
By supporting your fashion.
Yes. A couple more things. Don't forget to share the show with your friends. Check out our Instagram @Mike and Anthony, where we post thirst traps of Anthony. We also have a Twitch channel, which Anthony hates. Admittedly, it hasn't been very active.
Hate it.
Because,
He keeps promoting something that really doesn't even exist right now.
But it will, and I want people to know, just be ready, subscribe to us on there, and when you see the alert, and you hit the alert, and when the alert pops up, we're on, then you'll be like, holy shit, So that's what's going to happen. Yeah, maybe. Plus, go to Apple Podcasts and hit us up for 5-star review and a comment. It would be super awesome, and it helps the show grow on Apple, which, they're their own thing. Anthony, tell the people what we're doing this week.
We are doing the Billies of Madison County. I mean, Billy Madison. I mean, Bridges to Terabithia. Billy Madison. I was right.
Billy Madison. Yeah.
We're doing it.
There is no one like Meryl Streep in this movie. I'm just going to say there is no one that talented in this movie.
Yeah, no, there's not.
Bridges of Madison County. Is there a chance we'd ever do that?
Probably not. Unless somebody pays for it.
All right. Do you want me to hit the trailer?
Let's hear it.
Suntan lotion is good for me.
He was born into privilege.
Oh, really, fool? Really?
And stood to inherit a fortune. But for 27-year-old Billy Madison, there's just one problem.
How could I hand over my company to someone who couldn't even get through school?
That's nice.
Billy
is not an idiot.
Give me one more chance. I'll prove I can take over. First grade through 12th grade, all over again. And then I get to take over Madison Hotels.
Your Honor.
I want you all to meet Billy.
You want some more of that? I didn't think so!
Don't you think it's a little pathetic that just because of who your father is, you get to come to school all over again?
Yes, I do.
I heard he's retarded or something.
Good morning, class. So let's all open up our Reading is Fun books to page 69.
69. Where's Billy?
He's in school, man.
So what's it like being back in school?
I don't know. I kind of feel like an idiot sometimes. Although I am an idiot, so it kind of works out.
Universal Pictures presents
Norman Invasion of England.
1066.
That is correct.
Adam Sandler,
I am the smartest man alive!
Spanish Armada.
1466. 67.
Billy Madison,
1469. 1514. 1981. God, give me the answer!
And there you have it.
Yeah,
That's it.
That is your trailer. All right,
That is
Anthony.
your trailer for the movie that is centered around a man-child passing grades 1 through 12 in a span of a couple weeks, and that being enough experience and education to qualify him for taking over the hotel empire.
We'll get to that here in a minute.
All right.
Break this one down.
All right. Here's a breakdown by the numbers, directed by Tamara Davis and starring Adam Sandler, Bradley Whitford, Josh Mostel, or Mostel Light, depending how you drink your Amstel, Bridget Wilson, Norm MacDonald, and Darren McGavin. Darren McGavin. Shooter McGavin. There we go. Billy Madison was released on February 10th, 1995, taking in a whopping $26.4 million at the box office against a $10 million budget, which is Adam Sandler. He makes profits. Doesn't matter if they're big or small, he is bankable. It scores a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb and 41% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes. Yeah. He does make money, but this was like his second movie he had done. The first one he did was straight hot garbage. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It was like it was actually on a cruise ship, I believe.
Yes.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I like cruising, but dang,
But
that movie
was like Adam Sandler's coming out party. This is when this was right when you were getting into, Adam Sandler, hilarious, and then it got old.
I would say, I guess. I mean, I have some takes, but we're going to come out with those here.
He still does some stuff I enjoy. I don't enjoy it like I did, because it is one of those things. It's just, it does get old. It's like, how long can you go on with that, with the voice and the stupid humor being funny? That's all. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying,
It's okay. It's okay. All right. So that is the numbers. Are you ready, Anthony, to do that one thing you love to do, and that is play the game?
I want to play the game so damn bad.
All right.
1466. That's my answer. 1467.
You're right. I'm
1981.
All right, we're going to play the game, and the game goes like this. I'm going to read 3 reviews. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake. I wrote the fake one. And as you may guess, the game is Anthony has to guess which one is fake. So you can play along with him, and he loses. So whatever he guesses, usually I would go the other way. Just because I was just cutting something. Well, I don't want to get, I guess I can't say that. But in a previous episode, he guessed twice and got it wrong both times when it went down to a 50-50 shot. So I'm just going to say sometimes his brain fails him. That's all I'm saying.
Do you ever think that maybe I get them wrong on purpose to make you feel better? Because
if so, I feel so fucking good.
There you go.
He's such a good guy, people. Now,
I
are you
know,
ready
I
for
get
me
it.
to read these to you?
I know your self-esteem is about the size of your penis, so I know
Oh.
it's very low. So I'm just trying to
Wow.
help you out. I'm trying to give
I'm
you
feeling
something.
the daggers right now.
I'm trying to give you something.
Are you ready for me to read this for you?
You're feeling the daggers? It's not a dagger. It's more like a cocktail umbrella.
You had to put cock in there. All right. Okay. So, are you ready?
Ready? Let's go.
Mark Stein of The Spectator. Billy Madison is a moronic movie from the nerdier than thou school of comedy. Michael Daquina. TheMovieReport.com. Wipe that smug grin off your face and go home. Danny McGrath, Chicago Sun-Times. This is brash, immature humor that is only appreciated by teenagers and grown men in their 20s. You are muted.
Unmute.
He was trying to. I think he had an answer, and he
I
might
did.
change his mind and win.
No, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to guess the second one.
Michael Daquina, TheMovieReport.com. Wipe that smug grin off your face and go home. You know what? I'll let you see me now.
Okay.
And I won't wipe the smug grin off my face because I fooled you with Danny McGrath of the Chicago Sun-Times.
Good job.
This is brash humor, immature humor that is only appreciated by teenagers and grown men in their 20s. I tried to make it sound actually like someone who writes reviews for
I hate this fucking game.
I love
Hate
it.
the shit out of it.
And I can tell you this time, my self-esteem was not on his agenda.
I just hate it.
I just heard his self-esteem. Maybe I should make one so obvious that I will help.
Such a waste of my time and my energy. I hate the shit.
I bet everyone at home listening, or everyone, so that it's a podcast, so they could be anywhere, but wherever they're listening, they probably guessed right and you guessed wrong. That's all I'm saying.
I like to envision they're listening to it either on the toilet or in a bubble bath.
Oh, bubble bath that's
Either
clutch,
one.
bro. That's
Whatever.
clutch. That's clutch. On bubbles on the head? That's the question. Do you have a stack of bubbles on your head?
No, what I'm saying is I think I picture all of our male listeners listening in a bubble bath and all the female listeners listening on the crapper. How about that?
Oh, okay. Now my images are gone. Are you ready for this?
Yes, let's go.
Billy Madison is the dim-witted, childish, and spoiled 27-year-old heir to the Madison Hotel's fortune, founded by his father, retiring tycoon Brian Madison. Billy spends his days drinking with friends and creating disturbances across his father's estate. One evening, Billy ruins a dinner meeting between his father and his associates by acting obnoxiously. Brian loses confidence in his son and chooses his devious executive, Vice President Eric Gordon, to take over Madison Hotels. When Billy begs his father to reconsider his decision, Brian reveals that he secretly bribed Billy's school teachers to give him passing grades. The two finally compromise. Billy must complete all 12 grades of school with 2 weeks for each grade to prove he is competent enough to manage the company. So
Holy shit. 2 weeks.
2 weeks to grade.
That proves you're smart enough to manage a hotel empire.
Yes, of course.
What the living shit.
I mean, you can test out of it. It's like college where you can go and take the test and see if you don't have to take, and you might even get credit for.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, at this point, does Billy's father give a rat's ass about what happens to the company?
No, and
at all.
I would agree with that, and I have some things here I wrote down. This movie is like many other movies of the 80s, actually, that came before it. I have a few of them in mind, where they have preposterous stakes,
right,
with the strange challenge or competition to see who gets the spoils. I have on here, One Crazy Summer had the yacht race. Karate Kid had the All Valley Tournament. Still has the All Valley Tournament.
That was badass.
Yeah, but it still has it, though. That's the thing.
I know.
It's lived.
Yeah, exactly.
Revenge of the Nerds had the Greek Games, and I'm sure I'm missing some other things.
Oh, like every other 80s comedy in 90s.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's others that have challenges that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah. Old school.
But old school's not from the 80s.
I know, but I'm just saying we're talking about stupid / raunchy comedies.
But
It
yeah,
transcends decades.
but with those movies, here's the thing: with those movies, there was a reason to buy into the side that was the underdog, right? Right? There was a reason I wanted it. On this one, I find it
Why?
hard to be on either side. Billy is trash, right? He's just trash. Eric is a weasel. And the only person in here that I like is Carl. He is a good guy. And for some reason, the father completely overlooks his value. Doesn't even care about him. A homegrown guy who understands the business, has been with the company for years. It's like he doesn't even care. But despite all this, like he keeps asking Alphonse, is it Carl, do all the shit, set it up. He keeps making all these arrangements and making all the shit, but somehow he's not good enough to take care of a company. Oh, I can't.
Father he's in probably mid stages of Alzheimer's at this point.
I don't know that he has that
to be making these decisions.
I know he's delusional, but I don't know if it's Alzheimer's. I don't know what it is. Maybe he did cocaine in the 80s.
Maybe drop some acid.
But I remember back when I first watched this, I think my undeveloped brain gravitated to Billy.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But now I look at it and I'm like, this spoiled prick, and this needly executive, why are they fighting over the company? Why shouldn't he just go, Carl gets it, have a nice day, both of you? I mean, and plus Billy, why would he take care of the company? What would he care? What does he care? He gets to jack off and like his dad.
You know what? And I think that's the one of the things you grab onto. It's like, okay, he does want to take it seriously.
That is the only thing he has. Is that he cares enough to think that this guy could fuck it up. Billy
is either one step above or below a Kardashian, and I don't know where he falls there.
How about this? I got to know here. His nudie mags, when he goes and gets those, they look like what somebody's, and we've talked about this before, Pornhub searches might be today. Back then he went so fucking niche. What the hell is this? The over 80 and the drunk girls? I mean,
variety is the spice of life. You've seen Chasing Amy.
What do you think would happen to Billy if he had internet?
It's Fred Brown eye kind of night. Sometimes it's girl on girl. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes I like the idea of a woman with a horse.
What do you think Billy would do if he had the internet and a smartphone?
Then I definitely think he would give up on trying to take over the company.
He's like, wait a second. No. I got bigger fish to fry here.
Life is different now. I've gone from paper to electronic. I don't need to worry about the company.
There's a actual science. I don't know if you call it a science, but there was a thing called teledildonics. You know what that is?
What?
Teledildonics. Just you could Google it.
I don't want to Google it. I don't even want to put that on my phone.
It's where somebody could control your sex toy through like a phone or something like that, and that was the seed of what now people probably do with apps. And I'm guessing, I don't know. And they can control it so that it's like you're simulating, like you're having sex with them, but electronically. I'm just saying, and I feel Billy probably would latch onto this.
I do remember. Remember when I saw that they had it was like vibrating panties or something.
Yes.
With a remote control.
Yes.
That must have been the impetus for this idea.
It's called, I found it. Lovin's teledildonic vibrators, long distance interactivity. So it's a thing.
You need to put your phone in the dishwasher after this.
People, just a little heads up, always search in private mode. It doesn't save it.
Wow. You would know.
Everybody should know that. If you don't know that, you're not searching porn right. That's what they say. My gosh.
Oh,
I mean, who wants to see you put in what you just said? Horse, woman. Who would be knocking at your door if they could see your search? That's what I want to know.
Cowboys.
Is that one of them websites where you can get a date? You get a horse and a woman all on one website.
Yeah, I was typing in farmersonly.com and I hit the wrong key on something.
All right. I want you to. Okay, so I want to. Before we get into this movie too deep, I want to say that this movie, much like in,
already gotten in pretty deep here.
I've gotten in pretty deep, yeah. And I might even have some notes on this later, but I do want to say that this movie very similar, but I think its story's a little more linear. Very similar. Wayne's World is nothing but joke after joke thrown at your face. So
yeah.
So
Totally.
just want to get that. So with that said, I want you to give your six pack.
I've got back-to-back 6-packs here just because of where we're kind of going in the.
So you want me to hit it twice?
Let's hit it twice. There we go, back to back. So first, one of my just favorite lines, quotes from the movie, the bathtub scene. Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? That's just fucking gold. I love it. I'll still, you can still take a bath and do that.
Yes.
But again, it is awesome to see that that is what somebody of that education level and age with nothing else to do.
I've never done that to my wife, though. Spit in the shower. But the problem is because now I have a shampoo and conditioner combined in my thing. So
combined, you got Pert Plus.
I have a shampoo conditioner that's all in one. I don't have two different bottles.
You do the Pert Plus. I gotcha.
No, it's not Pert Plus, but yeah. But back in the day, that's all it was. It was only Pert Plus back.
All right. So my second is Billy first attacks kindergarten. Story time. Billy's speech. Whoa, Miss Slippy. Part of the story I don't like is that the little boy gave up looking for his puppy after an hour. He didn't put out posters or anything. He just sat on the porch like a goon and waited. That little boy's got to think. You got a pet. You got a responsibility. If your dog is lost, you don't look for an hour then call it quits. You get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog.
Yes, you do.
You know
now,
what? I think it's time for dodgeball.
Which I'll get to my thing on that after the next thing. But I will say this particular thing, it shows he is still an adult.
He has some kind of mental capacity and moral compass.
To understand responsibility. Yes. Although, when you watch the beginning of this movie, you feel he's we're fucking worthless. I mean, yeah. What day is it? October? It's Nudie Magazine Day. It's like, come on, man. It's like crazy.
Shortly after enrolling into elementary school, Billy becomes attracted to a third-grade teacher named Veronica Vaughn. She is one hot piece of ass, who initially ignores him. Nevertheless, Billy successfully progresses through his first 2 grades. He finds himself as one of Veronica's students in the 3rd grade and earns her respect by standing up for Ernie because he peed his pants, his other friend and classmate. Billy becomes popular among the 3rd graders and misses them as he advances through school because, as we all know, up to 3rd grade, that's when you've got good friends, and after that, it's pretty much fucking downhill. So, Billy's progress alarms Eric. Desperate to take over Madison Hotels, he blackmails Billy's elementary school principal, Max Anderson, who also is a little bit questionable with a Valentine he had previously sent to Billy, which is really effing weird. But he does bribe him into lying that Billy bribed him for passing grades with a wrestling magazine containing pictures of Max's previous career as the Revolting Blob, a masked wrestler who accidentally killed a man in the ring.
By sitting on his face.
Hey, they had a code.
Yeah.
He was supposed to tap if he couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Well, hey, what can you say? I will say in this particular section, I think some of the best work is done in this movie, in this part of the movie. We get some of them because we start getting into those moments like you're talking about, the first 2 grades, Billy getting his friend Ernie. It's one of the better moments here. But I want to go over 1st grade. You already talked about the soliloquy he did, but dodgeball.
Yes.
Here's the thing about dodgeball in this movie. The kids loved Adam Sandler off camera.
Yeah.
But
not on camera.
In dodgeball, he took great pleasure in hitting the kids with the ball, and reportedly, he wasn't faking it. The actor actually threw the ball as hard as he could. The cries of ouch that you can hear in the scenes are the actual reactions of the child actors, many of whom cried when this scene was being filmed, causing the director to have to cut away from their faces so it wouldn't show in the finished product. That's a fact I pulled out here. So he was merciless against against those people, man. That's awful. That's so bad. So bad.
That is, especially since you're not going for that reaction from the kids or anything. So it's like,
I don't know. Maybe I could see where maybe in Adam Sandler's brain, he's like, when he thinks of it as a comedy bit, he's like, no one will expect me to actually just go fucking off on these people. And being on camera that way would look funny that an adult just does what an adult could do to kids.
You know what? That's method acting that I don't even think you should mess with.
I know. That's why I brought it up, because it's funny and kind of disturbing that no one's ever said, what the fuck did he do in this movie?
The thing is, like, I remember dodgeball in grade school. So, junior high.
Yeah.
Especially the junior high area, because we had a couple of kids who threw like fucking adults.
Yeah.
Like they could whip that sumbitch. It would hit the fucking, if it missed you, it could hit the gym wall and come back the other way and hit the gym wall and then come back and get you again. That's how hard they fucking threw that shit. So I'm thinking, Adam Sandler.
Were you kind of a wimp? Because I could throw the ball pretty freaking hard.
No, I was not a wimp. These guys were like either flunked a bunch or were on steroids or were like.
I never was scared of anybody in dodgeball.
They were like the high school O'Doyle coming back to grade school. Okay.
Do I have that fact on here? You just mentioned O'Doyle. You know what's funny about that O'Doyle thing? I don't have the fact on here, but it is a fact that Adam Sandler's script, when they first presented it to the producers, they thought it was too childish and didn't like some of the things. So they had a guy make a run through it. And one of the things that guy added and stayed in was the O'Doyle rules thing. That is not an Adam Sandler thing. That is that guy's thing. So, and that joke is one that gets set up and pays off, which tells me that's why, because that a professional writer would set up a joke like that. Yeah. And Adam Sandler was not a professional writer. So at this point,
his was like in the moment jokes.
Yeah, they're all in the moment jokes. Like the second grade spelling bee I have on here is one of the things I enjoyed seeing, because we got the explanation from his father. You know, don't you remember when you won that spelling bee? You know, when you spelled rock, R-O-R-O-K. He's like, yeah, so R-O-C-K.
Yes.
Fucking idiot. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, man. So it was interesting when he got put on the spot, and he almost did it again.
Yep.
What was the word that he had to spell?
But this was after we found out he couldn't write a Z to save his life.
Oh, well, no, that's third grade. That's third grade.
Was that third grade? Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly when it happened.
It all happened in 2 weeks. It's hard to...
Because he's like, are you going to the mall later?
That's what I was going to have to.
Are you going to the mall? It was great. It was great. Like he had to win that though to get to the next grade, which I thought was interesting. So couch, that was the word he had to spell. Couch. And then, like you said, third grade is where I feel we get a lot more, because that's when he has to talk to Veronica, and then we get the principal is substituting, and that's when we get the weird Valentines.
Yep.
That was the creepy part about that is all the little girls giving Billy the Valentines and then giving him the eye and, winking at him, and then the principal winking at him.
Yep. Very disturbing.
I don't know if we needed that.
We didn't need it. No, you never need that.
Because later on we also get a thing I will talk about later, but that we didn't need as well.
It's like funny because the Valentines, because like when I see that now, it's like, because my son is in first grade.
Yeah.
And almost every single day he comes home with a love note or homemade Valentine from one of the girls in his class.
That's funny.
It's I love you, hearts and everything. And so loves so-and-so, like literally all the time. Well, and I'm like shocked when he doesn't come home with one. I'm like, what happened?
Well, the thing is now they do Valentine's different. I don't know about when you were a kid, you made your box and only people who wanted to give you a Valentine put them in there. Yes. Now they make you make one for each student. Yeah. If you participate. So,
I don't remember how it was done.
I do.
I feel like it was everybody.
You may have. I was a few years before you,
Yeah, I
and
might
when
have
I
been
was in
cut off.
elementary
Yeah.
school,
I can't remember.
it was brutal, and I could tell that some people felt dejected about it. And if I could go back, I would give everyone one and
Well,
tell
which
them
is-
nice things.
It's funny though, because I do wonder like when that really kind of got implemented. Because remember the movie Drive Me Crazy,
Yeah,
which we did? That
Yeah.
whole thing about Dave. It's like,
yeah.
remember, what was it, 4th grade, whatever? When
Designated Dave.
when they stopped making us, or they started making us give out Valentine, or stop right after they stopped doing that. We
Yeah,
got one Valentine. I'm nuts about you, Nicole, or I'm bananas about you, Nicole.
yeah.
Yes,
That's funny. Yeah. That movie. If you want to listen to us talk about that, I don't think what's funny is I don't think we even remembered and mentioned this because it wasn't on our mind at that time.
no, but that movie came out in the 90s.
Yeah. So
So,
maybe I don't know.
Is this so? This wasn't like a national school policy. It just got through.
I
different-
don't know.
Yeah,
I think it
alright.
was once something like that happens, the trend is that everyone does it because they feel they see the psychological rewards
Right.
of doing it, right?
Well,
So
the thing is, why would they have ever done it the other way in the first place? You can just give it to whoever you
because
want.
this is the United States and we want to see favoritism where we want it.
True story.
And we want certain people to succeed and certain people to fail.
True story.
So that's why. When you can push other people down, you can raise yourself up a little. That's
true.
kind of how
Yep.
that works. So if there were other podcasts we could step on to make ours go up higher, we would do it.
In a heartbeat.
Actually, I would like the tide to raise all boats. So
I
let's
say
go.
fuck it. No.
Let's go to the field trip now. That's where some epicness happens. I feel this is
When you're at the bottom like us, no, I want to step on people.
yeah, we're dodging feet.
I'm a stepper.
We're at the bottom. We're dodging feet. Someday we might be the foot. I don't know.
Step up, part 7.
Step up, part 7. Podcast rises. But the field trip. This is I would say the whole field trip thing is pretty epic in general. So I love that. So I want to talk about Chris Farley here.
All right.
Because it's pretty cool. One of Farley's most memorable moments is when he's behind the wheel on the bus and the
Yes.
kids just push him too far. After threatening to turn the bus around, he starts mumbling, cursing under his breath and turns bright red with fury. It's an amazing moment of pure stress, and it was actually completely improvised. Once again, not in the writing, just that dude doing what he does best. So there
He
you
was
go.
a good one, for sure.
He was a good one. Yeah. And I want to talk about this when they're on the bus, and I'm going to give my generic now. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. My generic for this one is when they say, I dare you to go touch Ms. Vaughn's boob. And he's like, that's assault, brother. So Billy knows right away it was assault, but then he's like, will you double dare me? So
He was waiting for the triple dog dare.
yeah. So he does it. He still goes up there and does it, and he's a criminal. Yes, she kind of played it off, but I think that's what she would have to do, right? Like in that scene, because it's over with. She still has a job to do. He's a criminal. He just assaulted Veronica Vaughn. What happens with them later doesn't matter.
He did.
He broke a law
Totally
there.
did. He totally did. Billy Madison is a fucking criminal.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to go backwards on a generic that I think I wanted to call for you. And I don't know if I got it right. Did I get this right?
No.
Oh, then I won't hit the button. I wanted to call a generic for Anthony because this is something that sounds like it make him feel disgusted. Is when they have that one girl who has a little kid and she's talking about her husband in jail and whatnot, and she uses the snotty rag to act like she's wiping her boobies.
Yeah.
And he calls her the mucus queen. I thought you wouldn't like it that she's rubbing her mucus all over herself.
Oh no, I didn't like it, but it's not my generic.
Okay.
It has potential to be one. It is just not the generic I picked out for this film. Now I do also want to add my third 6-pack in at this point too.
Okay, we'll hit it. We'll just do 6-packs and
Hit it and
generics all
quit it.
around.
Hit and
Go
quit
ahead.
it. Pee in your pants.
Yes.
Peeing in your pants is the coolest. You ain't cool unless you pee your pants. Like that is, but then just the scene, all the kids peeing their pants or high fiving each other.
When they get home, their
That's
parents
great.
are going to be
But
so.
the line is just awesome, but also too, can you imagine that bus ride back?
And and all those
Oh.
kids at school with all those kids, unless they got back at a time when
I would assume
kids aren't there.
I'm assuming maybe it's one of those you get back and then you go home, but oh my god, just the stench has got to be.
Hey, you know what though? Solidarity is a good thing, and he did learn. Like I said, Billy does have a moral compass. So
Hey, let's
there
be
we
glad
go.
that it wasn't solid though.
Yeah, if he decided to shit his pants, it could have been a real different bus
You
ride.
ain't cool unless you poopy pants.
You ain't cool unless you got the brown. Oh, like what's his name in Can't Hardly Wait? Unless you got the pudding incident on your butt.
Yes. How can I forget the pudding incident? I know no one else has.
All right. Let's see here. I got another thing in here. I'm going to put a 6-pack in here because I forget when it happened. But when they're out in the hallway and the milk is being delivered to the class, and he asks Sideburn, "You want some of that milk?" No, and he's asked Miss Veronica Vaughn, "Would you like some? Would you like some of that milk?" And he's like, "It'd be our milk." No, and she's like, "No milk will ever be our milk, Billy." I love that. No milk will ever be our milk.
Until a week and a half from now when I'm doing strip teases, try to get you the right answers.
Yes. My gosh.
Like, so this is what's funny. You gotta think about this too, okay? Now we have a grown up adolescent going through the 12 days of school, basically.
Yeah.
A teacher very put off by him, who was assaulted by him. And it took her, so we're looking at, it took her about a good, 10, 11 days total to come around to, I'm going to start banging him.
Yeah, it didn't take long. And I wonder if the money...
His whole challenge was 2 weeks.
For her, for each grade, it's 2 weeks. I wonder if the money makes a difference, like he's rich, that type of thing.
No, I don't know. But I'm saying, that was does not look well on her character. That was very fast.
Very fast.
As an educator, too. Hello.
That wasn't very smart.
Your student was your student.
Well, it's a weird gray area.
Is your student still in the school system at this point?
Yeah, I'll give. Yeah. Okay.
So, let's just say that is what it is.
Whatever the weeks left there are, you got to wait.
Yeah. You know what? No, you when you go into the whole, hey, your teacher, but they were 18 and all this shit. No, it doesn't count any. That's still bad.
No, I mean, how many ever weeks there are left of school that he has to do to complete his challenge? She has to wait until the end of that for.
It wasn't weeks; it was days at that point. But
no, after 3rd grade, he had 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
So
he had he had 2 weeks per grade. It's like,
was it 2 weeks per grade? Was that what it was?
Yeah. 2 weeks per grade. So he has I don't even know how many weeks. He got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18 weeks left. He's got a little over 3.5 months or 4.5 months left.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a lot. I wanted to say one more thing. I forgot on the bus thing when Chris Farley has a quote that when they're getting on the bus, and I'm saying this because I know you like this movie.
Yeah.
He has a quote where he says, "Good, great, grand, wonderful." It is the same quote that his character gave in Airheads. So there you go. There's that one.
Yep.
And I do
want Airheads.
Yeah. And also I want to talk about the principal here for a second. The guy's name is Josh Mostel or Mostel. He plays Max. He's also a man of a hidden talent. He's an opera singer. He started out as a boy soprano with the Metropolitan Opera, and although he moved into film, he is still an accomplished singer. He was even on Broadway in 1989 in a production of the Three Penny Opera. So that guy, while he plays a buffoon and kind of an ass, he's one of those guys that, they have a talent that you just don't know about. And I love that when people have secret talents and things like that. All right. Now, I would have to say
he's he's in a lot of shit though.
He is. In this movie, Billy, one of my favorite things is they go through the montage of all the grades of him doing all the stuff. I like a good montage. It's pretty funny. But it just gets us to the point B where he goes to high school for the first time. What did you think? Was that your experience? Like he had going to high school, like he thinks he's all cool. He goes up in there, goes into class, and then all the people treat him like he's just this shit. Although that's what I expect. Kids now would do that.
No, it's not, because when I went to high school, I wasn't even cool enough at that point to wear an REO Speedwagon shirt to school.
Well, you were in high school in the 90s, so that wouldn't have played very well. You'd have had to wear like Stone Temple Pilots or some shit. What year did you start high school?
92.
Yeah, so at that point it'd been Queensryche, maybe a Queensryche.
Okay.
Yeah, Queensryche is pretty big.
Or 93.
Empire.
I graduated in 96.
You'd have to have a Guns N' Roses or a Queensryche T-shirt or something like that to be cool. And then within a year, it had to change to Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Bush. You name the great grunge bands of that time. That would have made you cool. I definitely
Silverchair.
Yeah, they only had the one back then. But that guy did a really good. Later on, he did something called Straight Lines, which is a really good song. So if people want to hear that, it's like from 2007. That's well after the 90s. But hey, I know music. So you don't want to get into music. Reason we don't talk about music on our podcast, to be honest, is because we can't play it. So what the fuck's the point? Like, hey, that's a great song. Too bad I can't let you hear it.
Just imagine it.
Just imagine. But there's a lot of good music out there. When I started at high school, I graduated in 93, so it was at 89, 90. Yeah, 89, 90. So it was like right around that time.
Yeah.
Music sucked at that time, in my opinion. It was awful. There wasn't much going on. Just want to say that. I did like Aerosmith. I was never a fan of I liked Empire by Queensryche, but I didn't like, what I didn't like? I didn't like Sweet Child O' Mine.
Really?
By Guns N' Roses. For some reason, I was not a fan right away of them.
Really?
I wasn't a fan until Use Your Illusion.
Wow.
Yeah. It's weird. And I hated all those Jackal. We talked about this in a previous episode. I hate Jackal and Ugly Kid Joe and all those Dangerous Toys. There were all these shit metal hair bands that came out trying to do the same shit.
I did. I had the Ugly Kid Joe cassette. I will say
I'm sure you did. And I hate everything about you.
I think I might have. I don't remember. I wonder if I bought that or if it was part of my BMG experience.
Oh, or did you do the 1 penny for 9 or 10 things?
Yeah, and then never.
People never know that joy of getting 10 records for a penny, but then getting that bill later.
No, I never paid it.
Oh, yeah, you never. Well, who did?
Exactly.
That's why that business model failed.
But it was so funny because anytime you would get those, because they send it, you got all the different stamps of the album covers.
You would look for the ones you like,
and you put the ones on there that you want and send it in with your penny. And then
fucking amazing.
You get the shit back, and then you just fuck off. You don't do anything about it. It's like, I mean, are they going to take a 13-year-old kid through litigation? I don't know, but apparently not.
But you know what that tells you? There's enough people who did pay that it probably made enough money.
Well, I remember, I wish I had the list, like the full list of 12 or 14. Because then I think they started doing the thing where it's like, get 10, get 2 free, 2 bonus ones, or 12.
Yeah.
All I can say is I remember, because I think I did this when I got my first CD player. And I'm trying to remember what the whole collection
jumpstart that collection.
All I can tell you is what was 2 of the things involved was the Menace to Society soundtrack and the Mariah Carey Christmas album.
Those two, that's an ends of the spectrum right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm very eclectic. But I do know those were 2 of, yes. I remember I think I got Tupac's album. There was like.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that.
Like, I'm going to tell you, I was Warren. Rap, metal, Whitney Houston.
For the ladies.
For my girlfriend, okay?
So, but the point is, Billy gets picked on at school, and then I've got a 6-pack here I want to hit for this. So when Billy goes to school with his REO Speedwagon, but he gets into class and they pick on him. But later on, he's talking. He gets so distraught. He goes and sees Ms. Vaughn, and she says, like, you didn't feel good, did it? And I bet you probably mistreated some people when you were in high school. So he makes his phone call, and I love everything about the scene where he makes that call to see Steve Buscemi's character, the music and all, the ELO music, everything, the crossing off the list, the lipstick, that whole scene. We always talk about maybe a movie's not a 24, but there are scenes that are 24s. That's one of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a 24 scene.
That's a very memorable scene. It is excellent.
I love that one. It's one of my
creepy.
Probably one of my favorites ever. Like that scenes in a comedy, just because it's funny and it pays off once again. And it makes me wonder: was that a Adam Sandler joke or that guy? I never got a fact on that because other guy made the jokes that landed later.
I do have a question though. Now that I'm thinking about it, so he's got this list. Billy was still on the list. What was he waiting for?
I don't know.
Been a while since high school.
Yeah, but I can tell you, I know another fact about the list, but I didn't put it in here. Is that list is actually people who worked on the movie, like some of the crew. That's their names. So
that's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Angered, Brian calls off his deal with Billy and renames Eric as chairman to the company. Billy grows distraught and reverts to his previous carefree lifestyle. Veronica motivates him to return to school while his grade school classmates convince Max to retract his false accusations, infuriating Eric. Brian agrees to give Billy another chance at Eric, but Eric cites that Billy failed the challenge by not finishing 9th grade within 2 weeks. He then threatens to sue Brian if he does not pass the company on to him. Billy intervenes and challenges Eric to an academic decathlon to finally settle their feud, with the winner getting to take over Madison Hotels. So, this fucking movie has its flaws. Yeah. And I think this is one of them. And it's this plot that or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
His father is very flippant, and he's unwilling to look beyond that news story on TV for the truth. Like, he's just like, well, fuck, I just saw it on TV. It must be real. And he makes this stupid choice. He has to make a choice between the shitty guy he knows is shitty, but he, for some reason, he has to give it to him, or his son. Like, what is this?
It's like, hey, where am I going to get my brake pads from?
Where am I going to
where do I always usually get them from? Okay.
But my point is, it's like he has choice between his son who he knows can't run it and a guy who he doesn't want to run it. Why are those his choices? He is making poor choices. And furthermore, though, on this
Alzheimer's,
maybe Veronica, though, here's the thing: she knows he didn't do it, and all she would have to do is go to him and go to his father and say, "Hey, I know this didn't happen." And she's respectable. I don't understand. She could have worked this out.
Mike, is she respectable?
Well, not as much as we thought. When she first started off, we were like,
are you going to take the opinion of a teacher boning a student?
Well, one, a rich student. So, and he's an adult. So I kind of, like I said, it may not be right.
Do not call Billy Madison an adult ever again.
But yeah, that's the problem I have. It's not that she's boning an adult that could be in her class. It's one that is so childish. How does she go from no milk will ever be our milk to...
That's what I'm saying.
To this. Why don't you and your friends come in the house and we can talk about it?
Will ever be our milk. A couple weeks later, here's these milk jugs.
And then...
that's that fast. Now, again, let's keep this in mind too. Because you call him an adult now. First of all, we already talked about the student-teacher thing, which is no. But also, remember, Billy still has the mental capacity of a 12-year-old. So that makes it even grosser.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is more pedophilia.
Are you saying this is like Big?
This is pedophilia.
Like we did last week? It's like Big, but the difference is he never was. He's just still that little child inside that just grew up and never went forward or backwards.
Like the teacher and the 12-year-old that ended up getting married when she finally got out of prison.
Oh, Fucking A, man. But my point is with this. So what ends up happening is she instead of doing the right thing and just reasoning with his father, no, she kicks his ass and gives us another opportunity for another ridiculous, preposterous challenge that is totally unrealistic. As if the first totally believable one wasn't enough, we had to have a second completely unbelievable one to happen. So yeah, it's just it is what it is. It is what it is.
That's the whole movie. Come on.
It is.
Let's tackle this then. If we're going to talk about all the things that don't make sense in this movie or just like pointless, how does a school allow a grown person to enroll in classes
money
and also take them at an expedited rate? Expedited rate. Expeditiously.
Expeditiously moves them along each grade. Yes, that's a good way of saying it.
That, first of all, no, you're disrupting your whole fucking class. You're possibly scarring little children. Was the PTA involved with this at all? Did they get a say in whether this could happen or not?
I think, but
or
here's
did we just buy them a new football field and it's like, okay, there you go.
That's what I was gonna say. Okay. Because later on, when they get the second challenge, we find out that they have the new library, the Madison Library wing or something that they're building so that they could make time for the people to do the 10 people that were running it, the teachers that were going to administer the tests. So we obviously, money made all this happen. We don't know what he did to get the first setup, but Carl, let's remember, Carl, the fixer, who actually is the guy we think should run the company, is the one who sets it all up. So he has some unscrupulous behaviors, but he just does it better than Eric.
I got a question now. Carl.
Yeah.
Do you think, are we in, how we talk about the multiverse and crossing over movies?
Yeah.
Do you think, Carl, that's actually really who he became after he cheated on and stood up Elizabeth Shue in Adventures in Babysitting? This is the sleazeball he turned in. This is the sleazeball he turned into.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. The multiverse, they could go even further than that. Carl retires from Madison Hotels after a psychotic break and then becomes a junkyard operator on Breaking Bad. Was he in Breaking Bad? Was that him?
Was he in Breaking Bad?
Hair? I don't know. I thought he was. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was the guy with the magnet. I thought he was the dude with the magnet.
He might have been.
I'm mistaken. That's what that means. You're talking about the Eric character.
Yeah, Eric.
Bradley Whitford fucking with him. See, I'm thinking Larry Hankin. Because I don't remember what fucking movies he's in. He's not in.
Larry Hankin, I already tell you what happened to him in the multiverse, but you don't watch Friends. He lived in that apartment building and then he just died alone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. He wasn't the Sure Thing. He was one of the truckers in that. So maybe he quit trucking, then became started working at that hotel. And then that's not enough time though. 25 years. That had to be one of his Escape from Alcatraz. He was in that one. He got out of prison.
He's had quite a life.
But no, Bradley Whitford, yeah, and then he somehow gets on the West Wing. I don't know. Which I don't know. Did that start? That probably started around this time. It probably started a little bit after this.
Yeah,
the West
I think
Wing.
It's a little after, probably.
But that was a pretty good show. I don't know anything about Friends because I don't watch Friends.
I know.
But I do want to take this moment again to say how this reminds me of the Wayne's World thing. And the reason I want to get a little deeper on it because it reminds me of how when we watched Wayne's World, we saw Mike Myers' jokes that he would end up using later on and landing better in other movies. I think Sandler, his thing feels similarly. Like it's like he's trying things out and seeing what works. And if you look at his later movies, he does recycle some of these bits. And when doing research for this, if you go into the facts on the IMDb page, it'll say that, this thing happened here and it also did it in this movie here. So it's very much like they had a bunch of skits and they tried them out and they didn't know how to make them work as a movie. I think Sandler's products later are much better. Never was a Little Nicky guy, but once you get past those things,
Little Nicky, not great.
Not great.
Well,
But
this
you
was
get
this was just because of the humor and the age you were when you saw it.
I
know?
yeah.
Like that's the thing with this, with
I,
this string of movies, right? At this time,
I get it. I get it. At the time, it was kind of like the precursor to raunch comedies that we got in the late '90s with American Pie and Road Trip, things like that. It was the precursor. It was what people our age found funny at the time because we liked random for some reason,
random stupid humor. Yes.
and I'm not that now. Uh, so yeah.
So both men excel in different activities, but Billy manages to take a single point lead before the contest's final event, a Jeopardy-style academic test. Billy gives a completely dim-witted answer for the opening question in the event, and Eric is given the chance to win the contest by answering a question regarding business ethics. Dun, dun, dun. Eric, being a highly unscrupulous businessman, cannot conceive of an answer and breaks down. He brandishes a revolver, but Max, in his wrestling gear, tackles Eric from backstage before he can harm Billy. Eric recovers from the attack and attempts to shoot Veronica, but he is shot in the buttock by Billy McGrath, the rifle-wielding madman whom Billy apologized to earlier for bullying him years ago.
All right, now here's where I want to say a couple things. But the first thing is, how I really got you earlier on the game is the name of the guy that I put on my review was Danny McGrath.
Danny McGrath.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
That's fine.
I not only did I try, I gave you a really good opportunity if you actually looked at the cast list to know.
How would I do that? Why would I do that?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
What's going to happen is I'll start doing that, and then you're just going to change it up and do something else when you do that stupid game. So it's going to do me no good.
Yeah.
You're going to go all Bill Belichick on me and shit.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to pass the ball.
All right.
I'm going to punt. Fuck you.
I'm going to punt. I'm going to
punt on second down. One.
Fuck you. I'll punt when I want to punt. First down. Just fucking punting. I'm gonna hit a 6-pack now because it's a place to do it. And mine is the moderator. I love the guy. How he's like, I just don't want anybody cheating with my dirty, sloppy whore of a wife or whatever he calls her. I forget the name. Nobody. Like he's just he's kind of a sad sack. Also, when just the whole thing he does when Billy does the whole the puppy that lost his way.
Yes.
And he's like, we are now dumber having listened to that. That is classic. And I think that's something I have used on other people. Like, I think we are all now dumber having listened to what you said.
Yes,
how many times have you said that to somebody? Like, and not me.
A day?
Yeah. I don't. In general, I guess you must say it once a day.
I don't have enough hands to count.
What's happening in your house?
Oh,
but I use that once in a while. I do. But I do like this montage of events. I don't think I could stomach the blow by blow of this though, because obviously who knows what events he got points in? Because we really don't know. We kind of see some events, like we know he won cooking because dude is in a flaming mess. And you know that the running and dude shows his old balls to those young kids. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But
at least he wasn't a teacher.
True. That is so true. Yeah, I guess. Well, Billy got to see her breasts, and I think that's okay.
I gotta say, so because you didn't even touch on this.
Go ahead.
I thought one of your 6-packs would have been the whole dance and song routine.
Oh, it actually, it is. I'll hit it. And I'll tell you why I didn't get it on there, because I didn't have a chance to watch this as much. I was listening to it while I was working at work, and I wrote down on a piece of paper dance, and I don't remember why I did.
Dance.
And I know it was because I was going to make it a 6-pack. But actually, the only thing I don't like, I like it. I love singing and all that, but I don't like some of the lower humor in it.
Like the
That's
teacher
all.
telling the student, "Don't I have a nice rack?"
Yes,
In the song?
that's so. Don't I? Actually, I don't like that part of it. That's so true. Don't I have a nice rack? Like, what's the point? Like I feel like this is a string of lowest common denominator humor, even worse than Wayne's World when it comes to that. Like, I think Wayne's World's jokes were a little more elevated than this one. When you ask me
Yeah,
which one's a more adult film,
I
Wayne's
agree.
World.
Yes.
Yes.
Wayne's World was 15. Billy Madison was 12 to 13-year-old range.
Yes.
So more adult 15-year-olds.
And you see which one did more money, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the proof is in that pudding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious. Now, obviously, the careers, the way they went later changed, because I think Sandler's humor, when he figured out how to use it in doses properly, then it was right. Like, when you get to Click and all those other movies, he figured out how to make movies where people would come and watch, and it was the right amount of that humor.
You don't think Mike Myers did that?
I don't. Well, no. I think once he did "You Don't Mess with the Zohan," his career went.
Oh no! See, I'm not. I think when he went Shrek, that was the route.
Shrek was great.
When he went Shrek, that was the route for him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's great. I'm talking about the ones where his face is in the movie and he's featured. I'm talking like those, because a lot of the funny thing is there's a lot of actors that do those animated movies and they're great, but you don't think about it because it's not what people know them for.
But it's still but
it's still out there. It's still their body.
The humor in it is awesome, and I mean Shrek will live forever, except at Universal Studios because they tore the ride down. But
that's sad.
It is. I know. I'm glad we at least got.
Did they get rid of the donkey thing where the donkey would talk to you?
Not that I know of. I don't like just the ride.
Because that was cool.
Know. Yes, it was. I know. I've got video of my son getting to hang out and talk to the donkey.
That was the coolest thing.
It was.
I love that.
The donkey was awesome.
And Clerks too.
Yeah, but like with, it just depends. Some of it runs its course a little too quick. Like Austin Powers, phenomenal. Second one, pretty good. Still, third one, didn't need it.
Didn't need it. No, it was just a jump the shark moment.
Even though I love the character, love Austin Powers, it's like you've already done. I think you've done enough.
The first two did what we needed, and the first one, like I said before, it's like this. The movies you did before this set up for you to make your masterpiece, and that's what I think.
Like if the first Austin Powers had been a one and done, people would still be today begging for a sequel.
Yes, because you did too many. If you'd have done the first two, I think people would still want a third one. I think the second one was good enough. Yeah,
the second one was good enough, but that's where it should have stopped because the third one,
No, because we didn't get Mini-Me till the second one, and so I think if you'd have done those first two, a third one would have been begged for years. So that would have been
well. Maybe if they had just waited longer and could have got it right, who knows?
Yeah. Now with this, I do want to at the end. I have a 6-pack after Max comes in as the blob, the revolting blob, and knocks him down. I love what happens here. I want to hit this. So they get him up and they ask him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm a little confused, but okay." I love that guy's acting in that. Like, you could tell he's like a person who's not right at the moment.
Yeah.
He's dressed up as a wrestler and he doesn't know what's going on in his life, but he just saved the day. So, and that was I really like that moment in that. But I do want to hit I'm not going to hit a generic for it, but I'm going to say what I don't like is what happens right after that. Should I call it a generic? Yeah, I will. I'll call it a generic. And that's when Billy gives him a hug, and we get the whole thing where he has to be a character that comes on to Billy, like, "Do you want to come over tonight?" or something like that. Like and we get that gay panic thing, and I don't know that we needed that. We could have stopped it. I was confused, and we still would have thought that was funny character.
Yeah,
because he's still trying to find himself and doesn't really know why he's a wrestler right now. We didn't need him to be a guy trying to sleep with Billy.
Well, wait, hold on. But yeah, we don't need that. But if we're not going to have that, you got to take out the Valentine stuff too.
That's right. And that's why I want to go back and I would take that out because it wasn't necessary.
Yep. I agree.
It wasn't that's what I said that earlier. I said that wasn't necessary. And I said it would make sense later on when I told this. It just wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was. All right. Is there anything else about that section you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. At his graduation ceremony, Billy, deciding that he is not fit for running a hotel company, announces he will pass Madison Hotels to Carl Alphonse. What? Finally, Brian's polite and loyal operations manager, and reveals he plans to attend college in order to become a teacher. Eric, recently fired by Brian and now walking on crutches due to his wound, watches on and fumes in frustration over Billy's decision. So yeah, finally, like we said earlier, the whole thing. We didn't even have to have this whole saga, which means we wouldn't have the movie. I get that, people, but if you own a 600 hotel organization that's worth billions, it seems, you don't just hand it over to a guy you don't like. If you know you have a guy you do like, that's just, if you know a guy is capable and you like him, that's what you do.
Alzheimer's.
Maybe.
Gotta be something. I don't know what's going on with him, but bad decisions.
All right.
I'm going to give my generic now.
All right, here you go.
My generic is O'Doyle. Not because of the running gag, because O'Doyle rules. I do love that throughout the movie.
It's a good little thread.
It is. It's a great thread. And, you know, you have...
Did they all have to be redheads, though? That really carries on that stigma of redheads. But go ahead.
But the thing about it that I got to call the generic part is dumping milk on Billy, on his head, for no fucking reason other than O'Doyle rules. Now, I'm going to call that out only because, first of all, it's just bullshit bullying, and I don't like that, especially for no fucking reason at all. Not cool.
Yeah.
But especially given the circumstances, when you know, like, this grown man is taking junior high school classes, he could literally knock your teeth through your ass for doing that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a dumbass move.
Well, I will say, though, that the guy in the high school that does it is a little bigger than the elementary
a little bigger.
Kids.
Sandler,
but I still think Sandler could at least knock it,
or he knows
fight him,
or he knows a hitman now that could take him out.
That's the problem. He is rich.
Do you think maybe Steve Buscemi actually is responsible? Maybe he cut their brake lines. That's why they went off the cliff.
Yeah, because no banana peel's doing that. No banana peel is doing that.
Cut their brake lines. It wasn't the banana.
The banana peel was convenient for us to see. But yeah, you're right. Buscemi was like, O'Doyle was on another list when you turn it over.
Yeah.
One of those fucking O'Doyle, that father O'Doyle had to be on that list. Really? That's the payoff we didn't get in this movie. There should have been a fucking O'Doyle on that list.
He would have been like a first alternate on the list.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because they obviously have a dad, right? Like, so.
Yeah, dad driving and leading the chant in the car.
Yeah, O'Doyle rules. All right. I've got a generic here. And you probably aren't going to like this, though.
What's that?
And it's that this movie ages a little poorly.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I don't mind dumb movies, but this makes the mistake of dumbing it down too much at the time.
I actually completely agree.
I can't believe that I thought it was good as I did then. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. No, you're not rubbing me the wrong way on that one.
Oh, yes.
I completely agree. But again, I could still look at it and say when I was, 13, 14, whenever I saw this, then yes, it's hilarious.
I was older than you. I was about 19. So I was almost an adult. And I say almost. People think 18 is an adult. You're not.
You're still almost there. You're still almost there.
I've progressed a little further, at least.
You're getting there. Getting there.
All right. You have another thing you want to do here before we get onto all the ratings?
One of my favorite parts. Prop time. What souvenir would you be taking from the movie?
You go ahead.
You cannot say Veronica Vaughn. That does not count.
I'm not taking her.
I'm going to say
she's loose with the kind of.
Because of my love of penguins, the penguin costume would be epic. But this movie, I'm going to say it would be a tough decision.
Oh, so I have your notes. So you audibling off this note?
It's a tough decision. I would go with probably with the penguin costume, but also like that's something you would want to display, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff, it's like something you'd want to display. So it would be a tough decision between that and the hit list, because that's something I could frame and put on.
Oh, that is a good
That
one.
would be
The hit list.
badass.
I was gonna say that or the 30-sack lunches.
I would almost take the hit list over that, just because it would be so cool, because it's in a frame. Be like, that's the fucking list.
That's the list. That's the list.
So,
yeah. All right.
The
Okay.
paper
So
costume, you have to wash it. Too much maintenance. So I might have to just go with the list.
the list. Okay, you're right. So I would like to get the brain cells back that I lost watching it, if that's possible. But I will settle for the piñata full of Rolexes and candy. Fucking hey!
Right, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I can't knock you for that.
I mean, the kid wrote, "Thanks for the Rolex, Billy."
Yeah, even though they're probably all movie props, and you're gonna find out, oh shit, I can't sell these.
I'm assuming they're real, but I would like the piñata regardless, full of all the shit that's in there.
You don't even see. You just see like I'll tell you right now, that's all shit that they got from a claw machine.
You think
that stuff's not real? That's not real.
Okay, I'll take the Trans Am. I mean, that's cool. That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be baller. Although I'd rather have the one at Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, not too often you get to see Smokey fuck the Bandit
on a gaming table, no less.
At Rick Darris's party, right? Is that who it was?
Except for the mustache.
Oh man! Are you ready to rate this bitch up?
Oh God, I don't even know.
You are. All right, here you go. I gotta hit it.
All right.
This one, I want to say something here. I feel of late like I am a broken record of regret. Like movies that I loved when they came out and not aging well and giving me that icky feeling inside. It's just happening. But I like this movie, but there are parts now that I thought were much cooler, back then that I'm just not so hot on now. It's like the highs aren't as high as they used to be.
Right.
And the lows, well, they got lower. If you walked up to me back then, right when I got done watching it, I would have said like 23 cans.
29! It's fucking 29!
But if you come at me now, I'm going to say this one is slightly above average. And Sandler did get better, but I'm going to give it 12.5.
Okay. So. All right. Interesting. So I'm on board with you for a lot of this. Actually, it doesn't age well, and it's just there's things you find funny in your pre to mid teens that are not as funny, and some that are. They're still like, it's more just the memory of it, how good it was, because this was Adam Sandler kind of becoming Adam Sandler, and this was like, because I remember like listening to his comedy albums and stuff like that, and it was hilarious and all that. Even that stuff is like not that funny.
The Lunch Lady. We didn't mention that
though.
The Lunch Lady.
Yes.
People may not know he had the Lunch Lady song, and the Lunch Lady was in the movie.
Yeah. Yes. But there are some things, and I like my 6-packs were some of his quotes from it, because it's still funny to me, even though it's like I said, you get to the point where the goofy voice doesn't fly as well, just kind of over it. But again, doesn't age well. There's definitely some issues with it, but it was also meant to be a stupid, pointless comedy. So I'll give it credit for that when I rate it. I guess. You know what I mean? It's not trying to be something else. It is what it is.
It's not The Godfather.
It's not trying for a fucking Oscar. But I will give it 15.5 cans.
All right. I can see where you go there.
And I'm kind of looking at it, actually. So, like, I gave Dumb and Dumber 17 cans. You obviously did not feel too great about that movie. I gave it 17, which is
what did I give Dumb and Dumber?
Fucking 7.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Billy Madison, we have an average score of 14.
And what else is with that? What else do we love? 14.
Waiting, which we just did a couple weeks ago, was 14.25.
They're about the same, though, when it comes to...
We had a big discrepancy on that, even fucking worse than Dumb and Dumber.
They're very similar, though, on their humor, though. Like
Urban Cowboys, 14.5.
What did I give that?
17.
Because it's a PSA. So you got to look at it from that point of view. If you look at it as
I don't
art,
think- I
you're
don't
going to
think they-
say, fuck that
I don't
guy.
think they meant for it to be a PSA when they made that movie, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying now I look at it as that. Don't do these things.
Necessary roughness was 14.25.
Yeah, I guess these are all in the right range.
That you also gave a 12.5 to.
Yeah, they're about the same. I
So
mean,
that was probably close. I gave it 16.
actually, if I won't change it, but I'd say necessary roughness might even be a little better to me than that. But they're still in
it
that
is
range,
for me,
so it's
but yeah.
so it's 12.5 is right. So there you go. I mean, it works. It works. We're right.
It's in that range, except for at least necessary roughness. The student-teacher fucking relationship was a little more appropriate since they were of
Yes,
age.
that is so true. It did have one. It's funny how they're so close in score, and they have that same thing.
Yeah, Son-in-Law 14.375.
That's a good movie.
She's All That 14.25. Different type of comedy, but still.
Yeah. It's slightly below all these, which makes sense. She's All That is a little bit better than this movie. Not a lot, but it is.
Now I got to rail on you for this because Hackers is 13.5.
I think it's a worse movie than this.
You only gave it a 10. I would much rather watch Hackers than Billy Madison.
I would not. Because at least that, like I said, there are scenes in Billy Madison that are 24s, but there's so many ones and there's a lot more ones in Hackers.
Let's just say
the dick humor gets weird in Hackers.
The dick humor?
Yes. Which I never put you a picture of my dick today.
I want you to. You didn't. You said you were going to send one if you couldn't record tomorrow. Listen, I just we don't have to do this right now, but sometime maybe you can explain to me the examples of what's not weird dick humor and what is. Because I don't really. Is there a line there? Is there a difference? Is there?
I don't know.
Scale? Like what's going on?
Self-deprecating dick humor, where you're like getting hit in the nuts, might be okay, I guess.
Okay,
that's funny.
All right, there's a benchmark at least.
It's more physical than visual.
All right, so here, let's go to the most important one here.
Yes.
13.375, Sweet Home Alabama. So it rates.
It's still better than Sweet. I feel fucking and for all you listeners out there that love Sweet Home Alabama, it's the one that people have downloaded the most. I can only feel that when you watch that and then you maybe listen to that and then you listen to this, you have to be disappointed in us somehow. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure there are. I feel like Sweet Home Alabama might have cost us some listeners. They're like, fuck
should we someday do the Sweet Home Alabama again? A Sweeter Home Alabama?
No, I don't want to revisit that.
But I don't think our scores would get better. I don't think they would. We would actually start poking more holes, people. You don't want us to look at it again. You don't want us to. We poke more.
We do.
All right. So is that it? Is that what we got?
I believe so.
Anything else? I'll say if you saw anything else interesting, I was going to let you go with it. But it doesn't sound like your brain.
I don't think there's anything else interesting that we need to touch on with this movie. I think we've.
Is there any Fast and Furious that are better than this? Oh yeah, that this is better than in our ratings.
All of them.
I mean, I know it's better than Tokyo Drift on the ratings, though.
No, Furious 7 is 15.25, so it's less.
Oh, so there you go. That's a good movie.
4 is 13.875. Actually, most of them we have ranked worse than Billy Madison. Too Fast, Too Furious is 8.
That's because of you.
No.
Too Fast, Too Furious is a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie. So it is a bad movie. So if I'm just going to say, that's our benchmark. Where is it compared to any Fast and Furious movie?
Or Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah. Okay, so we would like to thank you for listening. We also encourage you to hit that subscribe button, leave us a rating and comments. Remember, you can go to our website, sodapopcultureclub.com, for all things related to the show, including your chance to make movie suggestions. And our episode schedule is there. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and like we said before, we do have a Twitch channel that you might be surprised when I get on there playing some video game. Maybe I'll be playing Fallout 4 or some weird game.
Oh, who the fuck cares?
Seriously. No one cares. I know. Now we want
about Twitch because I don't know why. I'm just gonna keep saying it
because
why you want people to watch you play video games?
I don't mind that.
Why do
there are people that love watching that?
But why do you want people to watch you play video games?
I don't know if they enjoy it and if they want to engage and say hi. I don't mind. Now, we want to give you a little tease as to what next week's movie may be. See if you can guess what it is. I'll add that. Okay. Oh, man. And that's it. As always, we thank you for listening. Do you have anything else?
Just say no to Twitch. You have my permission, everybody. But that's it. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. God bless. Listen to us next time. Feel free to buy some shit.